This indigenous tribe requests Ben& Jerry's stolen land that company's headquarters is built on. Ben& Jerry's headquarters in Vermont, an area that originally belonged to Native American tribes. Wow, what an impressive revelation we have there. Indigenous tribe members who are descendants of Native Americans requested the return of stolen land, in quotes, that ice cream company Ben Jerry sits on, according to Newsweek, and we are reading from americasvoice.news right now. According to Newsweek, chief of the Nulhagan Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, Don Stevens. Let me read that again. Eric's gone, but let me read that again. Don Stevens, who is the chief of the Nulhagan Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, is always interested in reclaiming the stewardship of our lands, but the ice cream company has not contacted them. Ben& Jerry's headquarters is in Vermont, in an area that originally belonged to Native American tribes. That much should be obvious. This request comes shortly after the ice cream company's controversial 4th of July post. The company said to return the land of Native Americans needs to start with Mount Rushmore. Let's see if the native tribe said anything else. They did not. But this is the obvious, the obvious solution here. You believe the entire country is on stolen land, and then all of a sudden you're just like, hey, everybody needs to give back their land except for us. We're the only people whose land is, so awesome that we shouldn't have to give it back. And this is just why, these narratives don't take a hold. This is why they don't make sense, is because when you're in some sort of job position or some sort of industry, for example, and you say, we need more black and indigenous voices or whatever they say at the time, then give up your job. If you believe so strongly that it's better for people to own something or be in a position based on their skin color or where they were born, then you should probably just give up your position, because that's the most righteous thing you can do. Am I wrong about that?
No, but again, look, this is all using the assumption that any of this is genuine, right? We already did this, okay? We know that it's not real. We know that they're not really going to do any of this stuff. They just want a virtue signal, and apparently some people are still eating it up. A lot of people, I think we are making our way slowly back to sanity, and most people can see directly through this, and that's why most people are saying, well, just go ahead and give it up. If you're so up in arms about the stolen land, then go ahead and give it up. Everybody knows that. I think that's the majority of people. There's a tiny fringe minority, as some might say, of people who still can't see it. But what you're saying, I think, uses the assumption that any of it's genuine, and I just, we all know it's not genuine. So we can this. Again.
What is it about ice cream companies where they have such identity crises? Like Haagen-Dazs is from New Jersey. I'm sure nobody thinks that Haagen-Dazs is from New
Jersey. Episode about
that. Well, it's just weird. Like, why do ice cream companies have this charade about them? Can you mute your mic when you're not talking? Is that possible? Is that annoying? Because whenever you're not talking, we're getting static.
Really? Okay.
There you go. Yeah. So just click it on and off whenever you want to talk, unfortunately. So they're already super expensive, Eric, and Haagen-Dazs is super expensive here. And then we've got this ice cream called Chapman's here, which is a little social justice-y, but their factory burned down a few years ago, which makes no sense at all. It's just like something always weird is going on with ice cream companies. And then, have you heard of this company called Magnum Ice Cream? Do you have that wherever you've been?
Yeah, I've seen that before. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if
it's just weird. I'm just saying it's weird because they're also an ice cream company that basically makes themselves like they want to remind you of condoms, and like they make like their packaging like weird and sexual almost. I know that it's ice cream, but I'm just saying there's something weird about ice cream people. Do you have, what do you call, my question for you is, do you have those people that ride around on bicycles with freezers on them and ice cream, and what do you guys call them?
I've seen that. I never actually had a name for them. Couldn't say like, oh, there's the. I mean, just be like, I don't know if they've ever been a special name. I don't know if there's any correlation with social justice warriors and ice cream companies. But it's like, dude, first of all, This one is getting so old. Ben and Jerry's is one of the oldest weirdo commie companies in the country, so it's not new. We did this last week, but I think what I will say about ice cream is that maybe there is something there. If we want to go full tinfoil hat stuff, we know how Nancy Pelosi has her freezer. Do we remember that Nancy Pelosi has her
Right.
freezer full of $20 a pint or something, some ridiculously expensive amount of ice cream, which I think was Van Leeuwen, I believe. And we also know that Joe Biden, he can't be bothered to answer any questions about actual issues. Horrible Afghanistan pullout, $5 million bribes, Hunter Biden doing blow in the White House. He can't be bothered to answer any of those questions. He only wants to tell you that he likes chocolate chip. You know what I mean? So there is something strange about that. But as far as this, what genuine question here? What did Ben and Jerry's expect? They expected that all the weirdo, the commie lefties on Twitter to light up and go buy ice cream. What did they expect for this what did they expect to happen? Have they not been paying attention at all to Target or Bud Light or any of that stuff? Or is it, like I've been saying for a very long time, far more important for them to push the agenda than it is to even make a little bit of money, because they already have so much money that's almost useless to them at this point, and it's far more important to push the agenda home.
They're very agenda driven. They always have been, from what I'm aware of. And what's interesting is about a day after. Oh wait, this is the wrong thing. But Ben and Jerry's co-founders arrested during protests at the U.S. Capitals. They were one of them was arrested for protesting Julian Assange the other day, which is a very interesting. We just lost it there. Let me share it again. Very interesting contrast to what these people do. And like it's kind of like those broken clock situations. But Ben and Jerry's founder arrested by Department of Homeland Security protesting outside Justice Department. How does Julian Assange not make it into the title, Fox News? Like, you don't want to say Julian Assange in your title. That's a little odd, I think. But Fox is really going downhill. Ben and Jerry's founder Ben Cohen was a pregnant pause, was arrested Thursday by Department of Homeland Security police for blocking the entrance of the DOJ building in D.C., where he's protesting the detainment of Julian Assange. So it's very weird because on one hand, you've got people who are very anti-America, but then you've got people, you would assume that they're probably supporters of the Democrats. And Julian Assange's WikiLeaks is what basically ended Hillary Clinton's reign of terror. But then you might be able to assume, Eric, that they're further left of Hillary Clinton and they actually want to see the Democrats crumble. So they're more in favor of, just taking down the government as a whole and the whole thing that WikiLeaks stands for. Very confusing, these ice cream people. And to answer an earlier question, we call them Dickie D's, was the brand of people riding around with a bike. Dickie D's.
Never heard of it. Doesn't ring a bell.
Turn it up, Jordan.